This series finale's idea is straightforward. Okern's community must come together for Old Man Fixiko's funeral after he passed away. But in true Raz Dong's tradition, there's a lot more to this episode than meets the eye. Dig concludes its 3-season run with lessons on change, community, grief, and optimism, giving viewers a lot of comfort over the show's future. Willie Jack decides to let Daniel's mother, Hokti, know that Fixiko has passed away. Hokti remains incarcerated and is guided by Smiley, the elder spirit. Smiley is currently dating the amazing cowboy character from Offerings, Season 2, Episode 9. It is likely that the character has passed away since that episode, unless he was a spirit the entire time, which would be amazing if true. Willie Jack is very upset about Fixiko's passing and believes she didn't get enough knowledge from the elderly wizard before he passed away. Hokti comforts the younger woman despite her own sadness by staging a lesson on community using energy drinks, candy bars, and chips. The sequence in Louise Erdrich's novel, The Roundhouse, where a character compares the history of tribal law to a ruined casserole, is arguably the most stunning food-based metaphor. The moment is brilliantly performed by Paulina Alexis and Lily Gladstone, and it combines humor and grief in equal measure. Willie Jack is also reminded by Hokti that Fixiko's teachings and recollections have left a mark on everyone who has interacted with him. Just as Willie Jack's friends will continue to carry on bits of their buddy after her death, so too will everyone who knew Fixiko contribute to teaching others those lessons. Hokti's allegory also pertains to Reservation Dog's future. We are now all faced with the problem of preserving the ties and sense of community that these stories have helped to foster. As Hokti puts it, this is your turn now. Everyone shows up for Fixiko's burial later on. There, along with Irene, Maximus meets up with his old pals Brownie and Bucky for the first time. A Reddit user characterized witnessing Gary Farmer, Wes Studi, and Graham Greene together on screen as the Infinity Gauntlet of famous native actors is finally complete. Maximus rolls his eyes at Brownie's derisive quip about his friend's faith in the Star People. But after a while apart, the pals glance up and exchange a silent moment that suggests they are starting to realize more about their circumstances. Every one of them has obviously matured since their last conversation, and their experiences with other spirits and entities have changed how they interpret Maximus' accounts of his interactions with Star People. Later, the four elders confirm they have begun to move past their differences when they throw a series of perplexing, taunting non-sequiturs at a very puzzled cheese. Community people bid Fixiko their ultimate farewell during the service. Many thanks to Fixiko for teaching him about his man-moon. It almost shares a very intimate story, where other guests cut him off. Mose and Meko depart from their rather conventional bootleg rap album. The aunts, meantime, are occupied with cooking and joking around about obscure Ethan Hawke cannibalism flicks. They laugh about things as well. They're the finest aunts. When Tina gets there, she congratulates Rita on her new job in Oklahoma City and Alora on getting accepted to college. However, shockingly, it doesn't appear like the two women have discussed their intentions to leave Okern with one another. Alora reluctantly accepts Rita's offer to be her eyes and ears in the town while she is away before apologizing and leaving to look for Bear. Re-entering the viewing area, Alora informs Bear of her intention to depart from Okern. He acknowledges all that she has had to overcome and congratulates her on her accomplishments, even though he is sad to hear she is departing. As they embrace, the two declare their love for one another as friends, and Alora makes a weekend visitation commitment. Since Daniel's death, Alora and Bear's relationship has been tumultuous. This scene effectively connects their story by reaffirming that, despite their past disagreements, they are in love. In addition to the emotional toll that funerals take, the community is also responsible for excavating Fixiko's tomb. Because the funeral director doesn't give them shovels, the work is made much more challenging. Fortunately, Ansel and Kenny Boy show up with a pickup truck full of shovels, hopefully from ethical sources. Willie Jack and the elders keep an eye on the men as they prepare the burial site for the remainder of the night. After a long absence, William Knifeman triumphantly reappears when he pays Bear a visit in the restroom, a recurring joke. Even though he hasn't been seen since the second episode, Spirit has been watching over Bear the entire time. It appears that Rita and Alora are not the only ones departing. Now that Knifeman has given Bear all the ancient wisdom he requires, he is also bidding adieu. But first, he asks Bear what he has discovered since they first met. Bear says, "I don't have to be the lone leader. My neighborhood is very remarkable, and I'm honored to call it home." The program is once more addressing its viewers. The two then share their parting hose. At Fixico's final farewell, Willie Jack leads the group the following morning at the cemetery site. She is already applying his lessons and continuing his legacy through fostering interpersonal relationships. I know we have our own lives and our own problems, but I think it's beautiful that we come together like this, she says to the crew, a touching statement. We are unsure about our plans for the coming week, month, or year, but when the time comes, we'll always get back together. Following a concluding montage, Rita leaves for Oklahoma City, Cheese spends time with Grandma Irene, and Alora sells Mabel's house to fund her college education. We've been told that even though everyone is heading in different places, they will still make time to visit and maintain their close relationships. With all their hiccups, Bear and Jackie are undeniably real. As the mid-credits scene wraps up, we see Brownie, Irene, Bucky, and Maximus chatting. They all applaud and remark, until the next one, is this premonition coming? This bunch looks like ideal fodder for a spinoff, based on the spinoff rumors I've been hearing. Might I offer a suggestion? Would it be possible to have a horror crime series in which Dear Lady seeks out and avenges various wrongdoers? Kindly, I wish for every one of you to experience the same happiness that aunt had when she danced with Wes Studi.